everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I've got a new product to show you and it is from Melody Susie. Of course it comes in their typical boxes, which are absolutely stunning. So this is the box it comes in. As you can see, it's beautiful and it is a dust collector. The boxes are beautiful, by the way. Like the inside is all black and then a red outline. It's just stunning. I find it really difficult to get rid of. Well, I don't find it difficult, I find it impossible. I've still got every Melody Susie box that I've ever received anything in. Which just goes to show how stunning they really are, because I really cannot get rid of them. So I'm going to unbox it with you, show you what it looks like, and then I'm going to do my right hand today because I do need to do this one. But I'll do that off camera some of the time because I don't want to do them all on camera. But I have had a request to do my non-dominant hand. And I've only just done my left hand, so no, to do my dominant hand, sorry, using my non-dominant hand. So I've only just done this hand, so I can't use that, and I want to be able to use this to see how it works. So I'm going to do this hand because, as you can see, I've been walking around like this for for like over a week now, so I do need to do my right hand as well. So this is what the collector looks like. Going to put the box to the side for a second. So here is the wire for it, which has got a UK adapter with it, which is very helpful because obviously, as you all know, I am in the UK. So I'm just going to unravel that, plug this into the back of here like so, and then this goes in here. I'm just going to I'm going to turn my heater off actually, because I want you to be able to hear how loud it is. Where's the switches? So the switches are all here on the front, but we'll have a look into that in a second. Sorry for that, just had to pause for a sec because my table was actually a bit too close to the wall for the plug to fit. I'm sitting wonky and it's really annoying me. There we go. Right, anyway, so after that hoo-ha, so this is what it looks like. These are the options, so I'm going to obviously turn it on so you can hear them all. So I've pressed it on, which is automatically set it to the first one. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but it's not majorly loud, to be honest. That's the second one. And then that's the third option. You can definitely feel a difference, you can definitely hear a difference. So just turn it back to the first one. I think what I do is use the first one for things like cuticle prep, because that does create dust, but not a lot of it. So you wouldn't really need it to be like full blast or something like that. And then I'd use the higher options for debulking, which is what we're going to do now. So let's start off with that. This, I assume, yep, just pops off like this, and then there's a little bit of material here that helps you pick up the filter easily. So I'm just going to pop that back on. Now usually I used to use the napkins from IKEA to put a sheet over the top so I could just scoop it up, but I don't have any at the moment, so I am actually just going to work on this just as it is open. Just going to get my e-file bit ready. So I'm going to go straight in with a coarse e-file bit. I use just cheap bits on myself quite a lot because I don't want to waste the usage of my expensive ones, just do my own nails. So I'm going to use this bit here, which is just from Temu or Shein or Amazon or something like that. It's not a branded one basically. And then we're just going to get straight into it. So I'm going to do one nail on camera with the sound on at normal time, so you can see you can hear how loud it is and how it works and everything, and then I will do the other three. I don't ever do thumbs on camera just because they're tricky, but I'll do the other three on camera, but I'll speed those up so the video is not really long. So let's just get straight into it. I'm putting my RPMs up to 23,000, and I'm going from Cuticle. I haven't turned it on. Oh, it's not going to work, is it? I'm going to put it on the highest setting because I'm debulking. I'm going to put this at a different angle to see if you can see and the dust flying into it. Just making sure to be very careful because it's easy to put too much pressure on when doing the opposite hand. Leaving a very thin layer of clear on the nail to make sure I don't do any damage with this bit. And that's that nail done. As you can see, my finger has hardly any dust on it, and there is no dust on the table around this nail. So let me do all of them and we'll see what it looks like after that. Okay, I've just turned it off for a second just to show you. I do have some dust on my hands, but as you can see, it's not a lot considering how much dust that like surface would have created. I'm going to take the dust off my hands away from my desk because I want to see how much dust we've got on this desk surrounding this at the end of the video when we've done everything from start to finish. So I did both my thumbs and this, well, this whole hand and this thumb, and I still don't really have any. There's a couple of specks around here. There's some on the very outside of the machine, but nothing drastic. So it's obviously caught a lot. I'm not sure if you can actually see in the filter, but there is a lot of dust in there. So it's really, really doing well so far. So next up, we're going to do cuticles. So I'm just going to use my Anastasia bit from Willow Academy, like always, because I love this bit for cuticles. I'm going to use this on the first setting this time. So like I said, we will get some dust from this step, but not a load, so we don't need it on the highest. I also forgot to mention that my nails were obviously square in my last video of doing my own nails. I have decided to round them off because, like I've mentioned to you a million times, I am really good at basically ruining my nails. I pick the corners until they come away from the gel. It's a very bad habit, especially for a nail tech, but I can't help myself. So instead of, well, I'm never going to be able to break the habit because I've had it forever and I don't think it's ever going to change. So I just, when I start doing it, I just instantly round off my nails so I literally cannot destroy them. And then for the next step, which will be using my sanding band, let me zoom in a bit now for this strip. Which will be using my sanding band, I am going to go ahead and use the middle option on the dust collector, because it's going to create a lot of dust, but it's going to be creating a lot of like the really fine dust instead of the big chunky dust like that first e-file bit would have created. So we need a bit more than I've got it on right now. So I don't need it to be too crazy. In terms of the sound of it, I don't know obviously how it sounds on camera, so I'm not sure whether it's true to the sound. Just putting my e-file in reverse now to do it the opposite way. Yeah, so I don't know how it sounds to you, but to me it's actually really reasonable noise. It is noisy, obviously. I don't think it's possible for anything with a fan in it to not really have noise. But it's not deafening. Like, I could definitely use this on the top, on the highest like fan option and still be able to hear clients and talk to them and stuff, so that's good. But I wouldn't use it on a video because it is a bit too loud for that, just because my phone can obviously only listen to so many noises. So for this step, again, I'm going to do one nail and then do the rest off camera, just because I do find it really, there's a reason like I don't do my opposite hand on camera, is because I do find it really like awkward to film, but I'm doing it because it's been requested, and because I don't have another hand to use at the moment to test out this extractor. But I do find it very awkward to do my other hand. I get into some right weird positions with this one, and it's hard to make sure that I'm underneath and in frame all the time, but I'm going to try. And then to finish off this video at the end, I will do a very quick design on some peel off base coat using some Melody Susie gel polishes just to keep it on brand. But anyway, that's that, so I'm going to do the others really quickly. Okay, I have just turned it round a bit, so the buttons are in front of me because I don't know why I didn't think to do that in the first place. But anyway, this is my nails that are all prepped now. They've all been dried out with my sanding band, and cuticles are all cut off and stuff. I did that quickly off camera because that is one thing that I just have not mastered on this hand on camera, I'm afraid. But anyway, this is what we're working with, so I'm just going to move it out of the way for now, I think. But as you can see now, I've moved it. There's not like a ring of dust or anything, so you can see that it is collecting a lot. I am going to try and show you how much it's collected at the end. I just haven't figured out how yet. Probably going to have to put the dust on something for you to see how much there is. But anyway, like in my previous video, I am going to do the same build the gel, because I'm going to look very strange with two different ones. The whole point of this video is to make them all the same. So I'm going in with Tequila Rose from the Gel Box UK. And it is this beautiful colour. I did originally think that it was going to be too dark for me, but it's not. It's beautiful. So I'm going to do my thumb and index finger on camera, and then I will do the other ones like off camera, so this is quicker. Just getting the excess gel off my brush now to do the cuticle area and side walls, because I don't want it to run everywhere. This builder is definitely a thinner viscosity, so you need to bear that in mind. Everyone's got different preferences. Like some people will like thick, some people will like thin, medium, hard gel, soft gels, blah blah blah. Like the list is endless, but everyone's got a preference. I personally don't have a preference in terms of thickness. I can get on well with thick and thin gels. I do prefer the ones that self-level. Not the ones that you literally have to move completely to where you want them, because they don't do anything. But that's sort of my only preference really, and I like the ones that are coloured to be like, they don't have to be opaque, but almost, if that makes sense. Like I want to be able to do a French without having to paint a layer of colour as my base. Basically that's my rule with coloured builder gels. So that is my first layer. I'm using this box that came with the extractor to help me stay in shot. So once I've done that first, I want the builder gel bottle to be in view, so you can see how much I've got on my brush and what I'm doing with it and stuff. So I do get like quite a bit on it, I suppose. I'm going to be doing a, what's it called, a slip layer this time. So we're going to do what we did just like with the base, basically do that again as if we're doing another base coat layer, but instead of curing it this time, we're going to leave it wet, because that is what we're going to use to use the building layer. Basically, is all that gel that we add next is going to float to this layer. So we want to make sure that this layer is exactly as we want it. Not bothered about it being like as close to the cuticle and sidewalls as it needs to be, because I can use my detail brush to do that. I do want to make sure that I don't get it everywhere that I don't want it, because if I do, the next coat is going to just go everywhere. So once I've done that, I'm now going to get a bigger bead. And like I said, this one is quite thin, so it does move quite quickly. So instead of taking it right up to the sidewalls from the get-go, I'm going to take it a little bit before the sidewalls, so then it will naturally float there on its own, but I'll have a little bit more time to manoeuvre before that happens, because I'm not instantly placing it at that area. So I'm sort of giving it time to move without having to end up being in a rush. I suppose my technique on this hand is slightly different to my other hand, because it is a little bit harder. But you just got to be patient with it, basically. So once I've done that, and then I'm going to get my brush and I'm going to just drag that right up to the sidewalls, because like I said, I haven't actually applied my gel there this time round. I did with my slip layer, but not with the build layer. So I've moved too much of it down here. I need to replace that area, like so. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you do end up needing to refine, but I do try to apply my gel so I don't have to do that. 9 times out of 10 I would with my opposite hand anyway, because I do find it harder to get that perfect application, but that's fine. Okay, so that's that. I'm just going to look at the line of light. It's a little bit top heavy, so I'm just going to drag to the centre like this, and then tip upside down for a few seconds, and then I will pop it into the lamp. Perfect. So that is how my thumb turned out. That is done. I'm not going to be refining because the application turned out fine, so I will just top coat that. So now we're going to do the other nails. I'm just going to dust off, make sure they're all clean. So I'm just going to show you the index nail. So we're starting off again with a really small amount of gel on my brush, because I don't want to flood it with my base coat, because it's going to make every coat after that a nightmare. So once I've done that end of the nail, I'm then going to take off all the excess and then do the cuticle area. It's a lot easier to make sure you don't flood, especially with a thinner builder gel, when you don't have loads on your brush. I just go really, really slow when working on my opposite hand. Patience is key. There we go. So I just quickly did the base layer on all of the others as well, just so they're all sort of being done at the same time. I'm obviously just doing the other ones off camera. So I'm just going to go ahead again with this index finger and create my slip layer. Another thin coat just over where we've placed that base layer. I personally don't like these videos, like watching people do their opposite hand. I don't even know why, everything seems so like just wrong and backwards. I can understand why people would want to watch them, like if you're trying to learn to do your opposite hand and stuff, so I do get it, but I just never even thought to do a video on it because I don't watch them. But here we are, so it's fine. So I've just done that base layer now, I've left it wet, haven't cured it, and then I'm going in with a bigger bead on my brush. I don't really have any sort of like specific way of doing this step on my opposite hand. I sort of just apply it and just go for it really. Obviously with this particular builder gel I do have to work relatively fast because, like I said, it is quite a thin consistency, so I will move around. But yeah, I sort of just go for it with this hand. Doesn't help that there's a huge hair on my brush and a little hair in the gel, so this is all wasting time for me. I didn't even get that hair, very annoying. Does not want to leave me apparently. I think that's it, I think I got it that time. So because I'm holding my finger pointing downwards, the gel is naturally, of course, going to, well, gravity is going to work basically and pull the gel downwards, which is fine at the moment because I'm just preventing it from flooding at the minute, just while I get my cuticle and side walls neat, and then I can focus more on where the bulk of the gel is going. Am I in shot? No, of course not. There we go. Then once I've done that, I'm actually going to flip my hand round the other way this time to drag it down towards the cuticle so we don't have a top heavy nail, because we don't want a big bulky free edge. That never looks good in my opinion, and isn't good for the structure of the nail either. So just getting those outer sides nice and even. And then once I've got my nail almost how I want it, I'm then going to do what I did with my thumb and flip my nail upside down to get it nice and smooth. I want to have done the majority of the work before I do that. So it actually looks okay as it is, but I am just going to flip it just for a few seconds before I pop it in the lamp. And then I'll do the other ones off camera and then we can do a quick design. Okay, they've now been in the lamp and are fully cured. I'm just taking this tacky layer off because I am going to just buff over them just with a white buffer. Mainly because I have put an extra coat on actually off camera. I just literally applied it like I would a normal gel polish, just because I accidentally with my brush dabbed a bit of extra gel on the middle of this one and I didn't realise until it had already been in the lamp, so it was cured like that. It does seem to have covered quite well with that one extra layer, but I'm just going to go ahead and give them a quick buff just to make sure that they are all nice and smooth, because obviously, like I said, I'm going to do a quick design on them for you. So I don't want it to just show up after I've painted them, because then it's going to make this whole process so much longer. So I'm just going to quickly buff over. So I'm just going to use a white buffing block, nothing crazy. And just go straight in over the whole nail. If there's anything that needs drastically changing, like anywhere's lumpy bumpy, then I would go in with a file before this. Oh gosh, I'm not using the dust extractor, that's the whole point of this video. Let's get that back. So I'm going to put it on the first setting for this, just because buffers don't really create that much dust. Lift up a bit. Okay, so I have finished my right hand. I've top coated them, and I've also done my left hand thumb as well, because obviously that looked ridiculous. So I've decided with this and showing you how much dust it's collected, I'm literally just going to take off this top bit and I'm just going to let all the dust be on. There's not much on there, but I'm just patting it anyway. I'm just going to put all the dust on here on this towel, and I'll go and get rid of it before doing my nails. So I just want you to see how much there is. You can see just from this look how thick that is. There is lots of dust in there, but I want you to really be able to see it. So I'm just going to try and get the majority of it off onto here. You can see there already, but there's still lots left in there. I'm just going to try and get it out onto here. There's probably a better way of doing this, but I don't have the brain power to think of what that is. So I'm just going to pop it on here and you can really see how much dust it's collected. Bearing in mind that I've only done one hand with it. There's a lot of dust. There's still a little bit left in there, but you know, I'm not going to be able to get every single speck out of it. But look at all this dust. That is a lot of dust. So as you can see, there is no doubt that the dust collector works, that is for sure. It has collected so much that would usually be all over me or the desk. But no, that has collected all of that. And we didn't even use it on the highest setting for some of the parts of doing my nails anyway. So yeah, highly recommend this dust collector. It is fab. It's quite compact as well. It's a lovely shape. I really like it. I don't know why. Oh gosh, me too. That's a big setting. I really like that it's circular just because it's different. And obviously you've got the different speeds as well, which I think is really good. Super easy to take the filter out and stuff, so that's also good. But yeah, highly recommend. I will leave all of the information about it in the description box, including the link and everything, so definitely check that out. But for now, I'm just going to quickly pop on a peel off base coat onto my nails, and then we can do a quick design with some Melody Susie polishes. Okay, so I'm going to be using two different colours from Melody Susie for this set. They're going to be really, really simple. We're going to have literally like 3 full colour nails and then 1 design, just to make this a bit quicker because I know the video is already going to be pretty long. I have put my peel off base coat on my nails already, so I'm just waiting for that to dry. So whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to show you the colours. So we've got 2, like I said, and these are the 2 that I've chosen. So we've got Champagne Star, which is Z159 code, and it's this. And then we've got a red, which is Cherry Boom 72. I'm just going to quickly show you the colours. They're a bit dusty because they've been sat at the back of a bottom drawer for a while because they are very Christmassy colours. But, you know, it is coming up to that time of year now, so I can start doing the Christmas-inspired colour designs now. But this is what they look like. And I'm going to be using these 2 alongside some... well, not some, just a sticker basically of this one here, which is gold. It's not the same gold as this, so it will stand out. And then I'm also going to put a star or 2 maybe on 1 or 2 nails. I haven't figured out which ones yet. These are just cheap stickers from somewhere like Shein or Temu or somewhere like that. I don't know exactly where because I've had them for ages in my collection, but I'm going to pop these on as well, just a couple on the plain nails. To be honest, I don't overly think they're going to go, and I did in my head this gold was more gold than the colour it is, so I don't think they are going to go, but you know, this is what I planned, so this is what I'm going to do. And like I said, it's going to be super quick and easy anyway, so we're just going to get on with it. Just as I said, waiting for these nails to dry, and also trying to, that's not really how you say anything. I'm trying to stop my dog from eating everything in sight in my room. She's got a real good habit of taking lint-free wipes out of my bin, which is really fun when I have to chase around the house to get them out of my mouth. So anyway, I'm just going to wait for these to dry because they're not quite dry yet. And then we can get on with the design. Okay, we're back. I've got myself a big cup of tea because I was losing the will to live with waiting for these to dry. And then by the time the tea was ready, they were dry anyway, so it was pointless. But anyway, so these 2 nails are going to be full red. My pinky is going to be full of gold, and then the ring finger is going to be half and half with a nice line down the middle. And then we're going to that line down the middle is going to be the metallic foil. Look at that colour, isn't it just stunning? And the coverage is just insane. I'm not really taking it like right up to the side walls. As you can see, I've left quite the line around there, but it's just because obviously I'm using peel off base coat and I don't want to encapsulate it onto my nail and not be able to get this off, so purposely not going right up to the edge. Which feels very strange, but you know, needs must. Let me know if this is a video that you do want to see more often, because I'm well aware that I'm pretty sure that this is the only video on my channel of me doing my non-dominant hand. So do let me know if you want to see more of that. I don't actually think this is dry, you know. It looks like it's moving underneath my polish, which is not ideal. So I'm going to just cure this one and give it another minute to dry. I'm just going to drink a bit of my tea, and then I'll come back to do the rest. But as you can see, that red is quite easily, it's really rough now because the undercoat's not dry, but it's a one coat colour. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to pop this in the lamp, wait for that to dry. Wait for the base to dry, sorry, because I painted this one first. If that's not dry yet, the rest aren't either. I'm going to drink a bit of my tea and then we're going to carry on with the nails. Okay, it's finally dry. It's been ages, but my room is really cold, so I'm assuming that's why it's took longer than usual, but we're back, so it's all good. I've done a second coat on that index finger just because I was hoping it would make it look a bit, I don't know, a bit smoother really, but it didn't. It just looks the exact same as it did before, just a bit thicker now. So that was a waste of time, but I was trying to kill time anyway, so it's all good. I'm not going to do a second coat on this one because, like I said, after the first coat on that nail, it really doesn't need it. These colours are so pigmented. Well, this colour is so pigmented. I do only have like 4 gel polishes from Melody Susie, but all 4 of them are lovely, but I don't think that's enough to make a proper judgment on the brand as a whole, so can't really go off that. But the ones I've got are beautiful, as you can see. So I'm going to do a full nail of Champagne Star on the pinky. This is a stunning colour, and I do find that typically the finer glitters are better coverage. As you can see, this one is also very good coverage. So that's those. I'm going to pop them in, and we'll do the pink. We'll do the ring finger separately. So for the ring finger, I'm going to do the red on the side of the red and the gold on the side of the gold. So I am just going to go in with my bottle brush first. Not going as far over as I think I need to on purpose, because I don't want to go too far and then have to clean it up, because the peel off base coat is not acetone proof at all. So I am just doing majority of it with that, and then I'll go in with my nail art brush and some product on that to do it properly. So I need to try and make sure to get it central, but I've mentioned a million times I'm not very good at that, especially with my non-dominant hand. But again, just like the builder gel, we're just taking it really slowly, and it doesn't have to be perfect, because like I did mention, we're going to be using some what's it called, flexi tape. That's what it's called. We're going to be using some flexi tape to pop in the middle of this between the 2 colours, so it doesn't have to be perfect anyway, because we're going to be covering up where the 2 colours come together. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to pop that in the lamp. I'm going to only half cure it just to save a bit of time, because I'm not going to be overlapping the 2 colours, but they are going to be meeting in the middle sort of thing, and I don't want them to merge together. I'm just going to quickly throw that in the lamp for 30 seconds. Okay, then once I've done that, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side with the gold glitter. So I'm just going to use the bottle brush again. I'm just getting as much off the brush as I can, so I don't end up with it all over the place. And this side is easier to do then, because you've already got the red in place, so you can sort of work around that. And then again, I'm just going to go in with my detail brush. I've got hair on my face, can't see what I'm doing. And then just take that up to the side wall. Make sure it's nice and even, and there isn't anywhere that's really thick or anything, because it's not going to cure properly. And then once I've done that, I can again pop that into the lamp. And then with my little scissors, I am going to cut off some of the gold to apply to my nail. So I'm going to make sure it's long enough. I usually like to make sure it's a little bit longer. and then just cut the excess off instead of doing it too short and it looking strange. Still haven't found my nippers or like my go-to, what are they called, tweezers, which is very annoying, but I'm hoping they'll turn up eventually. And then with this flexi tape, it is really easy to cut it. I don't actually bother cutting it, I just literally just rip it because it breaks really easily. So I just pull that over the end, and then I'll just put a bit of pressure on it with my tweezers. So you could just leave it like that, but I like to take everything a step too far and then end up wishing that I hadn't. So we're going to do that as usual. So I'm going to use this to have a look what it's going to look like at least. I think I'm going to go with that one, and then this one over here. Where is it? And then that one over there. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to grab my tweezers. So I'm going to use these two. This one's a bit bigger, so that's going to go on my middle nail. Just very carefully taking that off. Probably going to rip it in the process. I'm trying to be really careful. Just want to lift it up, and then I can just pick it up by one small part. That's it. And then I'm just going to pop that on my nail like so. Not like so apparently. There we go, like so. And then just very gently make it nice and flat. It's not straight, but never mind, it's coming straight off, so let's be honest, it doesn't really matter that much, does it? I put more effort into my nails when they're going to be on for a longer time. And then I'm going to go in with this small 4-point star. Put that further down the nail, on the middle nail again. I don't know if it's, well, I assume it's the same everywhere else, but it's fireworks galore around here lately. It's driving me absolutely insane. I'm not, there we go, I'm not anti-firework like for a specific reason. I'm not one of them that's like, oh, my dog hates them, or my baby's gonna wake up, or that sort of thing, because neither of those things are relevant to me. My dog is absolutely fine with fireworks. She really doesn't care. She will sleep through anything. My baby is the same. He will also sleep through anything. So it's not because of that. I've never really saw the point in them, to be honest. Like even growing up when I was younger, I just think they're very obnoxiously loud and last not very long for a very, very high price for you to buy your own. Like, it's just crazy. So I've been to plenty of displays in my lifetime, don't get me wrong, and I'll enjoy it while I'm there, but I only used to go to them when it was the case of my mum and dad like were in control of me because I was young. Like since I've been an adult, I haven't bothered with them. They're just not my thing. So it's not fun lately. I keep trying to go out for a walk with the baby, and oh gosh, that's stuck. How am I going to navigate this? Oh, I've just pulled it apart. I keep going for walks with the baby and forgetting that it's fireworks season, basically from mid-October to January, and every time one goes off I jump out my skin because I forget that they're a thing at the moment. Anyway, that's my complaining over. Let's try and do this again without pulling it apart this time. Yeah, that didn't start very well. I pulled it apart before I've even got it off. These tweezers are really sharp, so they're not really very good to use for this sort of thing, but like I said, the ones I usually use are who knows where. There we go. Hopefully it will let go of my tweezers. There we go. That's what we needed. Straight on. Easy. Well, it wasn't because it took 3 attempts, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so this is what they're looking like. They actually go a lot better than I thought they would. You can't really see the gold on camera. It's really annoying because of the way the light's reflecting. But it looks a lot better than I expected it to with that polished gold. So we're going to top coat these now, and then we can peel them off together. Okay, so they are now done. I quickly just top coated them off camera just because I am well aware that this video is going to be super long, but what can you do? This is the problem with the videos that I talk through, is I can't shorten them because I'm going to cut out me saying stuff. But anyway, these are the finished nails. I actually love how these turned out, and those colours are just beautiful. I'm not really a red or gold sort of person, to be honest, but I really love how these look. I've got a black hoodie on, so that'll probably be a better background. I don't know what it is, but I can't pose my right hand. It just doesn't seem to work. It's really strange. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. You can't really see that gold on the stars and stuff. They look really strange on camera, but I can promise you they are definitely gold. You can see it there. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back. I don't know why I'm saying all this. We've got to take them off. Sorry about that. Ignore everything I just said. We're removing them. So I'm just going to get the tip of my, oh gosh, I've never actually had to remove them from my opposite hand. This is strange. Maybe we'll do it with this side. This one's not going to come off easily, as we know, because I painted it when it was wet. So that's not going to do us any favours, but we'll see. Oh, not too bad. That middle area there is definitely stuck. I'm not going to force any bits off. If they don't want to come off, I'll just file them. Not actually been as bad as I was expecting. I didn't think much of it at all was going to come off. So we've got more than I expected. That's good. Just do it like this, and then I can, there we go. I can just quickly buff my nails again and pop a new top coat on. So if I want to file away any structure, that'll do. That was better than I expected. Right, let's hope these ones come off easier because they were dry, so there's no reason why they shouldn't. I'll get my tweezers now. I'm not sure if you can hear the fireworks in the background. Apologies if you can. But there's fireworks, there's dogs barking, there's kids, there's all sorts going on out there. To be fair, it is more justified this weekend in specific because it is the weekend of Bonfire Night. So, well, it isn't. Bonfire Night is on Tuesday, I think. It's the 5th, of course, but I don't know which day that is. I don't even know what the date is today. But, yeah, at least this weekend it sort of makes sense because it's the weekend of actual events. I know it was Diwali either yesterday or the day before. I don't know. Again, I don't know what day it is. So yeah, it sort of makes sense at the minute, but it's the ones that do them for no reason just at this time of year, just because, well, I don't know why. That's my point. It's the ones with no reason that bug me. Last but not least, oh, that one was really easy. Little tiny bits left, but that's it. There's that. Last bit up here. Try not to cause damage because, like I said, these tweezers, there we go, are really, really sharp. Which is good because they're supposed to be, but obviously I'm not using them for the right reason, purpose even. So I have actually ordered a very cheap peel off gel base coat on eBay, which I know is not going to be amazing, but if it's even a little bit okay, that'd be great. But I will do a video on it for my first impression and testing it out, so look out for that soon because it'll be coming in the next couple of days. But anyway, finally got those nails off. If you made it this far, well, congratulations, because at this point I feel like this video is going to be like an hour long. Apologies if it is. But thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon with another one. Bye.